Sometimes the biggest journeys, they don't start with a map or a big plan. They start with just a quiet whisper, a dream shared between two friends. Today, we're diving into a really powerful story about courage, fear, and that incredible moment when a simple wish becomes an unbreakable promise. Wow, just let that sink in for a second. This one line, it sets the stage for everything we're about to see. This isn't just a story about adventure, not really. It's a story about the human spirit, About that moment a quiet little desire becomes this absolutely unstoppable force. All right, so let's go to that room. Picture this. We're in a small, paying guest accommodation, a PG, in Bangalore. And this is where we meet Shurika and Aparna. And what's so powerful about this is the contrast, isn't it? On the surface, their lives are probably pretty familiar to a lot of us. A cycle of work and rest. But you can just feel it, can't you? Beneath that routine, something amazing is brewing. They're just sharing tea, looking out the window, and they're not just talking about the life they have, but the one they know is waiting for them. And this right here, is the spark. It's one of those quiet, totally vulnerable confessions that just changes everything. This isn't about wanting a quick thrill. It's this deep, profound need to break through the everyday and feel something real. And I think that's a feeling we can all understand. And just like that, we move from whispers to action. This is that critical turning point where dreams stop being just words shared over a cup of tea and become a real plan, a shared promise between two friends. And I love this because it shows you exactly where each of them is coming from. For Sureka, it's about a head-on confrontation with fear. It's a battle, and she's determined to win. But for Aparna, it's a bit more philosophical. It's about reaching for this feeling of infinity. So you've got two different paths, but they're both leading to the same destination, feeling truly alive. And this is exactly how these things happen, right? It all starts with one person being brave enough to say their dream out loud. And that little bit of vulnerability inspires the other person. And then that mutual inspiration turns into a promise that they just can't break. It's this beautiful, organic process of shared courage. Okay, so here we are, the moment itself, the first leap. We're right there on that bungee platform, and you can just feel how thick the air is with anticipation. This is it. This is where the talking stops and reality kicks in. And this just nails it. This is what fear feels like, right? It's not some abstract idea. It's a full body experience. Your heart is just pounding in your chest. Your hands get all cold. You can't quite catch your breath. And the thoughts in your head just get louder and louder and louder. What if? Man, those might be the two most powerful and paralyzing words there are. It's the one question that stands between us and our greatest moments. Every single time. And then the countdown starts. 3. One last look at each other. A silent exchange of courage. 2. This is the point of no return. The whole world just holds its breath. 1. They jumped, and in that one single action, they answered that what-if question. Not with words, but with an incredible leap of faith. And the world just drops out from under them. There's that terrifying initial fall, that scream that's part fear and part total release. And then, bam, it hits them. This unbelievable, overwhelming feeling of freedom. The fear just dissolves, replaced by the rush of the wind and the wild, unfiltered joy of simply being alive. But here's the thing. Conquering that first fear, that wasn't the finish line. Nope, that was just the warm-up. Because now, with that experience under their belts, they're taking it even higher. Literally thousands of feet higher, getting ready for the ultimate leap. And this is so important, right? The fear is still there, for sure. But it's quieter this time. And why is that? Because they have a reference point now. They've been to the other side of that terror, and they found out it wasn't a disaster. It was magic. They have proof that it's worth it. And this comparison is just perfect for showing their growth. The bungee jump was a battle. It was a direct fight to conquer fear. But skydiving? That's about something else entirely. It's about surrender, about embracing the vast emptiness and finding absolute freedom inside of it. You can just imagine it. As they step out of that plane, there's that intense initial rush, but then it changes into something else. It's this profound shift in how they see everything. They're not victims of gravity anymore. They're masters of the air. The world shrinks below them, and all their worries just shrink right along with it. It's a feeling of being absolutely limitless. And so here we are, full circle. We're right back in that small PG room in Bangalore, the exact same place where this entire journey was born, from a whispered conversation. Now, what's so amazing here is that from the outside, nothing's changed, right? The room is exactly the same, but on the inside, for Shurika and Aparna, absolutely everything is different. They are not the same two people who sat by that window just dreaming. And that is the heart of it all. They crossed a line. They went from being passive dreamers to being active participants in their own lives. This wasn't just a fun weekend adventure. It was the beginning of a whole new way of living. And this is really the ultimate takeaway, isn't it? The jump, it's a metaphor, of course. It's about daring to face whatever it is that's holding you back. So the question this story kind of leaves us with is a simple one. What's your jump? And what kind of magic might be waiting for you on the other side?